Have you ever wished that manifesting or calling in things that you really want could be done in such an easy way that you literally don't really need to put in much effort and, just do it while you sleep? I have a tip for you this week, which is literally going to allow you to manifest while you sleep. It is that easy. If you use this, you'll see miracles occur in your life. And who doesn't love something that takes not a lot of effort, that really works, and that actually makes you feel good before falling asleep at night? It's a triple whammy win-win, in my opinion. So that is what I'm going to tell you about this week. So it's no secret, right, that special time before you fall asleep at night is kind of magical. So if you think about it, I don't know whether you spend a lot of time thinking about things like this, but I do. And I kind of like to think about things that the mind does and the way the subconscious and the conscious actually work together. And that little time before we fall asleep at night is actually quite special and quite magical, because one minute you're awake, right? One minute you're awake and you're thinking and you're conscious, and then the next minute you wake up, you open your eyes, and what's happened to the last, few hours, whole night, whatever, if you're lucky enough to sleep through the entire night? Doesn't happen for me that often these days, but if you're one of those people that just fall asleep and then wake up at like 7 o'clock in the morning, what happened? Like, one minute you were conscious, the next totally out of it for 7, 8 hours, and now you're awake again. And what was your brain doing in that time that you weren't aware of anything that was going on around you? I'll tell you what your brain was doing. Your brain was subconsciously working and doing stuff and dreaming and thinking and doing all those things that is brilliant in manifesting. And so if you could use that time, if you could use that part of the night when your brain is active but you're unaware, so you're not consciously having to do anything, you know what? Wouldn't that be wonderful? This trick, this that I'm going to share with you today, that is exactly what we're going to do. We are going to get that part of your brain at that time of night working for you to do something that you want it to do. So, with all that said, if you're new here, hello, hi, I'm Jane. I'm glad you've stumbled across me. If you've come back, hi again. It's lovely to see you. I'm glad you're here. I would really be grateful if you would pop a little like and hit that subscribe button so that you'll be notified whenever I do a new thing like this. And I do uploads every single Monday, so there's always something new going on here. There's always a little snippet of something that I'm going to share with you and give you. So I'd love you to stick around and become a part of this, because I love talking to people who want to up-level their life. And I am a mindset and manifesting coach first and foremost, and I talk all things mindset, manifesting, self-care, self-love, any way that you can change your life by changing your mind. And that's my mission. My mission in life is to help everybody know that they can have the things that they want just by changing their mindset and just by a little bit of belief. And that's what this entire channel is all about. But yeah, enough of that. Let me just give you the little tip that I came this week to talk about. The very last thing that you want to do before you go to bed is have something else on your to-do list. You do not want more things to stress you out or make you feel like, oh my God, I've got to do that before I go to bed. Jane said I had to do this, and oh my God, I don't. That's not what this is about, right? This is really quick. It's really simple. It's really easy. And if you prepare for it and you prepare ahead, which you can do, you don't even really have to think about it. It takes literally seconds. So what I need you to do, I'm going to give you 3 statements, and you pick and choose whichever one you want to use. I want you to write the statement down. This is your preparation. This is your time, so you don't have to get stressed before bed. You write down what I'm going to give you. You write all 3 of them down if you want, and you can interchange them and pick and change whichever one feels good for you in the minute. Because again, manifesting is all about feeling good. If this feels like a chore, if it feels like another thing on the to-do list, just another one of those things that you have to do, then it will not work. This should never feel like a checklist. It should never feel like, oh God, I've got to do that thing. Because that is not the energy to be going in to trying to manifest something with. It has to feel good. And so the more preparation and the more we can do to make it feel good and make it feel easy, the better. So grab yourself whatever it is that you want. You can use pen and paper, you could use a post-it note, you could write it on your mirror if you like, if that's by your bed and you're going to be able to easily see it when you go to sleep. Just write it down. Put it on your note app on your phone if you have to. I literally use my note app on my phone for everything. I'm always jotting things down and saving notes, like literally everything. But just write it down, have it by the side of your bed, so that when we get to the night time, when we get to that little time just before we fall asleep, when we're settling down for the night, it's right there. It's on your bedside table. You can reach for it and you can read it easily with absolutely no effort. So I'm going to give you these 3 options now. And I want you to remember, right, that manifesting is never this kind of one size fits all thing. We all have different ways of doing things. We all have different dreams. We all have different wants. We all have different things that we are trying to call in. And so that's what these options are about. One of these will resonate for whatever it is that you at this specific time are wanting to call into your life. So that's why I always try and give options. Use one of them, find the one that works best for you. But you are going to get your notepad, your pen and paper, your post-it note, whatever it is that you're going to use, and you are going to write down these words. Are you ready? Get your pen and paper, write this down. I'm going to give you the options. So this option, this is your general affirmation statement option. And it would be something along the lines of, everything in my life is getting better and better. This is better than I ever could have dreamed it could be. I'm so lucky. I'm so grateful. I am so blessed. Right? Write that down. That is your general affirmation statement. So you would use this one if you didn't particularly have anything specific in mind, but you just wanted your life to get better. You just wanted everything in your life to become more abundant, more happy, more joyful, things to be grateful for, right? I always say with manifesting, and you'll have heard me say with mantras and affirmations in the past, if you keep them general, if you keep them open-ended, then you are allowing space in your life for miracles to happen. When you get specific, right? When you get specific, I know that we always say that specificity, I can never say that word, when you are trying to manifest a thing, an actual specific, like a car or a job or a boyfriend, that's great, right? Because the universe loves specifics. It loves to know the details. It has to know what you want. It's like your shopping list. You have to write down and tell it exactly what you want. But in a more general affirmation like this one, when there's nothing particular that you are working on, you just want to use the time and the space and this little part of your brain at night to manifest things, when there is just, it's a general, I just want my life to get better, I just want to be happier, I just want more joy, I just want more happiness, I want more to be grateful for, then a generalized statement is brilliant, because that gives you such an open-ended array of things that the universe could bring in for you. And as again, I always say, even when you're being specific about things, right, you could write down, I want $1 million. Why, like, keep yourself stuck at that limit of $1 million? You could, I would say, I would like $1 million or this or something better, because then you're giving space for the universe to go out and give you 5 million if it really wants to. Do you get what I'm saying? So this is when a general affirmation statement is brilliant. Keep it open-ended, allow the universe to just go out and give you the best of the best, Don't limit yourself. This one's brilliant if you don't really want any limits and you just want to use this time write that statement down. And if you need to, rewind, get the wording that I said, write it down now so that you've got it. And then we're going to move on to option 2. And option 2 is when you do have a specific, right? When you do have something in mind that you are actually actively trying to get. And that one would be something like, I always see evidence of blank. Blank is always showing up in my life. Blank is the new thing in my life, and I see it each and every day. So that one could be love is always showing up in my life. Love is the new standard. I see it and I feel it each and every day. Or it could be, you're trying to call in the new house. New perfect houses. My dream house is always showing up for me. I see my dream house in my life each and every day. I am always looking for my dream house, and it is also trying to find me. So that one is when you are looking for something totally specific. That would be your option 2. And then, just to give you another option, we've got option 3. And option 3 is, I desire to feel blank. I am willing to be guided towards blank. Please tell me my next best step. And I say that a lot. You will have heard me, if you've watched things or listened to me before, you will know that I say, please show me my next best step all the time. This is when I'm calling in my guides. This is when I'm calling in my non-physical team. This is when I'm calling in other people to show me, right? Because I know that I want something. I know that I desire to feel love. I desire to feel abundant. I desire to feel happy. But I'm stuck, right? I'm stuck and I don't know where to go. So please show me my next best step. And then your job, if you like, from using that statement, from using that affirmation, is to be aware of the messages, to be aware of the signs and the synchronations and the things that then you will get shown, because your brain will go off at nighttime then, and it will use that space when you are asleep, when you are not consciously thinking of other things, and it will show you. It will show you what the next best step is, and it will give you signs and things, images, words, whatever, that are your next best step. So again, this is always a really good idea to have a pen and paper at the side of your bed. I have a pen and paper by the side of my bed, or my phone app, like I say, all the time, because you might wake up from a sudden dream and you might go, oh my God, that's it, I need to remember that, and you write it down. Because if you don't write it down at that very moment, the next morning when you wake up, you might forget it, or it may not be as clear as it was. If you watched a couple of weeks ago, I did a higher self meditation where I connected to my higher self, and she downloaded a meditation for me to help you connect to your higher selves. I will link that below if you want to see it. And that came to me at night, and it was only because I had my phone by my bed, and I literally woke up in the moment and started recording, because if I hadn't done that, it would have gone from my head, and the next morning I wouldn't have known what it was. So if you are asking for help for something like that, and you're asking your guides to help you with something, let them show you. But always have a pen and paper by your bedside so that you can write down what it is that they give you when they show you your next best step. So there are your 3 options, right? The general, the specific, or when you're wanting help with a situation, with a something. What you're going to do is you're going to write down that statement, and then at night time, when you get into bed, in that space between, right, I've fallen asleep now, I'm cozy, I'm ready, I'm drifting, I'm actually going to go to sleep now. This is the time that I've put my phone down, I've put my book down, I've turned off the TV, whatever, and I am now ready to sleep. You are going to get that specific affirmation, option 1, 2, or 3 that you are using, and you are going to say it to yourself 8 to 10 times. That's all it takes. 8 to 10 times. You don't have to say it out loud. You don't have to shout it. You don't have to wake up your partner or your kids or the dog or the cat or whatever. You can just say it in your mind. You can quietly repeat it to yourself 8 to 10 times. And then at night, in that space, when you're asleep and you're not conscious, your brain will work on that statement. It will work on that affirmation, whichever option you picked. And so why not use your mind in that time when you're not doing anything else? It's going to go off and it's going to think about all kinds of things anyway. So why not get it working for you? Why not use that space when you're not doing anything else and you're not actively conscious and you're not having to put in any effort, if you like, because all you're doing is sleeping. But your brain is still working, it's still ticking over, and it's still showing you things, whether you know it or not. So use that time for good. Use that time to manifest. Use one of these options. Write it down. This is why I say write it down now and have it ready now. Because when you are in that warm, cozy bed and you're all snuggled up in your duvet and you're just about to fall off to sleep, you do not then want to have to get up and go, all right, okay, I've got to write down my statement and then I've got to say it to myself 8 to 10 times, because then again it will feel like work, right? So if you have it ready, you could have option 1, 2 and 3, and whichever one feels good for you that evening, whatever you are wanting to call in, because it's about the feeling as well, it's about feeling good. It's about this feeling like you want to do it. So have all 3 options written down somewhere and then pick one and say it 8 to 10 times before you fall asleep, and allow your brain to go off and do some manifesting for you while you sleep. So that is it for this week. That is how easy this can be. Use this period of time. Don't feel bogged down by all these techniques and tips that you are hearing about and told to do. This one's easy. This one's simple. This one happens for you while you're sleeping. It's like the pillow method. That's another one you can do while you're asleep. Use your sleep. Use your sleep time for good. Use your sleep time to manifest things that you want to bring into your life, and make it work for you. Make it be easy. I'm all about making it easy. This one could not be more simple. So write down your statements 8 to 10 times at night, just before you fall in asleep. Say them to yourself and let your mind go off and work for you when you are recharging yourself at night and you've got nothing else to do but sleep. That is as simple as it gets to be, and that is all I want to say for this week. I'll be back next week with some more. I'll see you then. Bye.